and welcome back to today's episode of Pedal and Plan Canada. In this episode, I'll be talking about my school cutting school bus service, but failing to make it a good option. So, you might be wondering, why is my school cutting bus service? Well, long story short, there is a bus driver shortage in this part of southern Ontario, Ottawa, so there's not enough bus drivers for the demand there is for school. So my school is cutting off bus service for people who live within 3 kilometers of the school. Luckily, I live 3.2 kilometers away from the school. But even though I get bus service, on nice summer days where it's not raining and the weather is good, I prefer to take my bike. Especially in Ottawa, there's certain areas of the town where I can drive my bike through, and it's a really nice commute to school with a bike too, so I get my physical exercise in before school and it makes me feel great. But other people don't think that, so the kids who get their bus service cut off, they either walk to school if they're close enough, bike if they are hardcore bikers, or they just get their parents to drive them, which is bad for the environment, traffic, and it's really not good, because instead of doing something that benefits everyone by not taking the car, not polluting, they're taking their car. So what is my plan for this? Well, to encourage biking and get people out of their cars, I suggest my school to build a covered bike storage with a security camera. I'll get to that later. So the covered bike storage would protect bikes from rain, snow, and sun. And as we know, Ottawa's weather so far has been a bit weird with climate change, making increased rain, snow. Well, there wasn't really snow this year, but it would help cover from snow, and it would make people come back from after classes and come to their bike and have it dry. Rather, as if it was left in the sun or left without a cover, it would be full of rain, snow, and it might get rusted from potential sun. Anyway, plus as I was saying before, the security camera eliminates theft due to the surveillance. Currently, my school's bike parking, storage, whatever you want to call it, is just a plain concrete slab with bike racks on it. And a few bikes have been stolen in the past few years. Now, they've added a security camera to kind of stop it, but it's more for like the schoolyard rather than the bikes, if you ask me. So basically, the covered bike storage would encourage people, especially me, to bike to school, because my bike is a mountain bike and it's a bit expensive, so I wouldn't want to waste my parents' money and make them get me a new bike because my bike is full of rain and it's completely wet and it is rusting. So that would benefit everyone. Also, a covered bike storage, like we see on some OC Transpo bus hubs, would also help it from, like I said, theft. But really, it would encourage people to bike, because otherwise people who wouldn't really want to bike and people who are like, oh, I don't want to get my bike stolen or my bike damaged, even though that's a slim possibility, it still lingers in the back of my head when I leave my bike. So the city of Ottawa has encouraged biking and has been doing good progress and building good infrastructure, such as good sidewalks along roads, bike paths inside the forest, which are also walking paths. But really, those are the small things like bike shelters that really encourage that kind of stuff that the city is trying to push. So I think it would really be beneficial to not only school students, but also really just for like everyone in Ottawa, because it's showing that like biking is really something. Biking, green transit, green transportation is really something that can happen. So I'm thinking like maybe it might not cost that much money. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but my school is fundraising all the time and it's supporting biking, so I'm sure we could get the city involved and maybe some grants, but who knows how it'll plan out. Thank you for listening to this episode of Pedal and Plan Canada. Catch us next week.